And a very good evening to you. Welcome back to UC Health Park. I'm Tyler Peterson bringing you tonight's broadcast of Vibes Baseball here live on Vibes TV. We're live from UC Health Park. It's been a while. It has been a while, 16 days between home games. This will be the first of a 6-game series against the Ogden Raptors, who make their first trip to Colorado Springs this year and this late into the season. All right, folks, so let's talk about what happened since we've seen you last. 16 days, 13 games on the road in the two toughest Southern Division homes, which are Ogden and Grand Junction. Grand Junction in first place, Ogden the first half winner. It got out to a pretty decent start. The Vibes played an extremely tough series with this Ogden squad. They ended up splitting the series 3-3, which was markedly better than they did last time they were in Ogden, a series in which they went 2-4. So 3-3 in Ogden. Okay, you keep pace. But Grand Junction was really the prize they wanted. They wanted to do very well in Grand Junction, and they got off to a great start. A dramatic win in the first game of that series, coming back down 7 runs in the last 2 innings to win the ball game. Boy, the belief in the clubhouse was at an all-time high. And then the next game, they blow a 8-0 lead and lose. And sort of went downhill from there. The Grand Junction Rockies won the final 4 games of that series. They went only 1-4, and one of those games will be postponed due to rain until the last series of the year. And they'll make that game up in Grand Junction. So a couple series that the Vibes really hoped would propel them toward the top of those Southern Division standings. At one point in this 2-week road trip, they actually leapfrogged Ogden by half a game. But they are now very much back of the picture. They are 10 games behind first. Ogden is 7 games out of first. Rocky Mountain is 3 games behind Ogden. So even if the Vibes, let's just say if they swept the Raptors in this series, it really would have no effect on how far they are out of first place, and Ogden, of course, already going to the playoffs. So it would really take something special at this point for the Vibes to make the playoffs. They are 12-16 in the second half, 27-47 overall, and they are currently sitting on that 4-game losing streak we talked about. Jacob Wesselman gets the start tonight, hoping to change things, turn things around a little bit, give the fans a good show here at home tonight. He'll be opposed by Ronnie Orta for the Raptors. I want to welcome in all those watching in the Springs, those tuning in from Ogden as well, and all family, friends, and fans throughout the country tuned in to Vibes TV tonight. It's Game 75 of the season. We'll have lineups at first pitch right after this break. You're watching Vibes TV. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back inside UC Health Park. Tyler Peterson with you. You can see on your screen both lineup cards being exchanged between Brian Klopp, who was the first base coach for the Ogden Raptors, and Yoandre Perez, who looks like he got a haircut. But this is how these lineups look that the umpires are getting right now. First for Cash Beecham's Ogden Raptors. It'll be Josh Broughton in right field, followed by Pat Adams batting second in left. Matt Workington at first base bats third. Freddie Achekar, the DH, he'll bat fourth. Brian Dansereau, the center fielder, he will bat fifth with Jesus Valdez at short and Ty Lewis at third, newly acquired Ty Lewis. The bottom two are Sonny Uliana, the catcher, and Dakota Connors, the second baseman. For Joe Mikulic's Vibes, back in the home whites, it's Gio Diaz in right field. Ethan Lopez, the third base man, he'll bat second. Ulysses Cantu, the DH. Luis Navarro will clean up and catch. Cesar Lopez, the left fielder, bats fifth with Andrew Hansen in center field. He had a big series in Grand Junction. Mike Annone, the first baseman. Welcome back, Mike. He will bat seventh with Nick Michaels, his first start at second base, the former Raptor, and Brandon Perez, the shortstop. He will bat ninth. For Jacob Wesselman on the mound, making his fourth Vibes start. Your umpires for tonight, Doug Hodges will be behind home plate calling balls and strikes. Tony Prater will be at first base, and Rob Minter will be at third. Three guys we've seen quite a bit this year. Well, for the Raptors, they've sort of got their season wrapped up. I'm sure Coach Cash Beecham will love to win out, but if they lose out as well, I mean, they're still going to the playoffs either way. They are 45-33, and currently that record is good enough for third best overall. Missoula Paddleheads, I mean, they are just way out in front of everyone else at 56-21. They will win the first half and second half most likely. Billings is 4 games back against Missoula, and they still have head-to-head games going, but for the most part, I really think that it's really, I mean, they're already the defending champions. I don't see anyone catching them. Billings, 4 games back, as we said, and then really interesting for the Northern Division. Idaho Falls, Great Falls, and Glacier are all 14-16. They're all 7 games back. So really, what some of those teams are hoping is that Missoula does win the second half so that they can get in as a wild card team. Currently, the Mustangs are 42-34 overall. The Voyagers, they are a game and a half behind them at 41-36, and the Chuckers are 2 games back at Billings overall. So I really think when you look at those 3 teams, that's their way in. For the South, Grand Junction, they've all but wrapped this up, I'd have to say. 19 games to go. They are 7 up on the Raptors, and they don't care because if Ogden wins the second half, they've got an overall record of 49-29. So they would take that wild card spot anyway. The closest team that would actually threaten them for a first place are the Vibes, but again, they are 10 games out. So we'll take a quick final break here. We'll get introductions, we'll get National Anthem, and the first pitch for you on this Tuesday evening. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Vibes TV. Welcome back to UC Health Park. We are going to send it down to Cliff Cage, who is going to have introductions, but right now there is some discussion at home plate, and we are not exactly sure what is happening. There's, I think, maybe an adjustment to be made on the lineup cards. We'll send it down to Cliff.
Welcome back to UC Health Park. It's game time! Let's meet your Rocky Mount Vibes starting lineup. Number 16, right field, Gio Diaz. Number 14, third base, Ethan Lopez. Number 28, your designated hitter, Ulysses Cantu. Number 41, your catcher, Luis Navarro. Number 19, left field, Cesar Lopez. Number 18, center field, Andrew Hansen. Number 27, first base, Mike Arnold. Number 35, second base, Nick Michaels. Number 25, at shortstop, Brandon Perez. Your starting pitcher, number 31, Jacob Wesselman.
Thank you, Cliff. It's now time for tonight's rendition of the national anthem. Singing the Star-Spangled Banner is Bailey Wybe. We'll send it back down to the field.
Oh, say can Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That's a great Star-Spangled Banner, and you know what? She stuck with it at the end. I think the one little hiccup, I'm glad it really did not faze her at all. Good for you, Bailey. Game 75 of 94. Sometimes it seemed long, sometimes it seemed short. But we are now deep into this Pioneer League season. Jacob Wesselman, he's going to make his fourth Vibes start. 0-1 as a Vibe. 1-2 overall if you include his Grand Junction numbers. But we cannot start baseball without a certain two words, which Cliff Cage will get right now from a young Vibes fan.
Play ball.
There we go. Straight into the point. I like it. Wesselman altogether, 1-2, a 5.39 ERA. The defense behind him, it's Cesar Lopez in left, Andrew Hansen in center, and Gio Diaz in right. Ethan Lopez is the third baseman, Brandon Perez, the shortstop, Nick Michaels at second, and Mike Ano, who is a little bit of a hero during the road trip. It's good to see Mike back again. I don't think the wrist is 100%, but he is still having a big impact on this team. And Luis Navarro behind the plate. That'll complete the battery of Wesselman and Navarro. We've not seen the Raptors here this year. Josh Broughton, a second-year Raptor, will lead it off. Broughton batting .392, 10 home runs, 58 RBI. Last year, he set the new all-time record for hits in a single season. I believe that number is 141. First pitch from Wesselman is a called strike one. Now, something we need to mention on this broadcast, there will be no pitch clock tonight. And there will also be no pitch clock for the rest of the series. Not because it doesn't work, but a new rule that has come out recently. And it makes sense because for whatever reason, for however it happened, we are the only team in the Pioneer League that uses a pitch clock, and that's a 3-pitch strikeout for Wesselman. So the Pioneer League said that should any visiting team request that they not play under pitch clock rules, then there will be no pitch clock. And the Raptors, who have not had a clock on all season, said before the game, no thanks, fellas. So we will not have a pitch clock. This is Pat Adams, who swings and misses, and it's been 4 strikes from Wesselman. Adams at .330, 4 home runs, 50 RBI. A Boise Hawk last year. Apologize for that, folks, but it looks like we are back. Some technical difficulties, and that'll happen when you're gone for 16 days. Two away, Matt Workington at the dish against Wesselman. Fouls that back, a quick 0-2. Workington was a Missoula paddlehead last year, but not for very long. Just the start of the season, he was with that club, and I think about 8 games into the season, he was picked up by the Chicago Cubs. Wesselman misses high. Ground ball into right field, a base hit. He's had an extremely hot start to Ogden. He's the kind of guy that they are hoping puts them over the top. So back-to-back strikeouts to begin the inning. And a base hit for Workington, 2 away for Achekar. So I started this inning off saying Broughton was with the Raptors last year. Adams was with the Hawks last year. Workington was with the Paddleheads last year. And Freddie Achekar was with the Mustangs last year. This is a well-traveled Pioneer League squad. And then two more batters in their lineup. Dancero, who's on deck, and Ty Lewis, who is fourth from being up. They were Owls this year. Two-0 to Achikar. 276, 7 home runs, and 60 RBI on the season. Former teammate of Vibe, Galen Viney. There's a first strike. We're going to have a pretty good week of promotions. We have 2 separate fireworks nights, one on Friday and one on Saturday. The one on Saturday is our Paint the Park Pink Breast Cancer Awareness Night. I'm not sure if the fireworks themselves are going to be pink, but I think that'd be pretty cool if they were. I heard someone say that. I don't know if they were joking or not, but it should be a fun night nonetheless. Vibes will be in pink jerseys. Just underway here at UC Health Park. No score in our ball game. And Workington with the 2-out single. A check over on Workington, who sort of dives back in stages, but does get back. Last time we saw you, we didn't have our lovely lower high home camera, but we are now a fully operational battle station once again, and that's strike 3. Wesselman strikes out the side, no runs, a hit, no errors, a man left on base. We head to the bottom of the first, no score. You're watching Vibes TV. Welcome back to UC Health Park. Vibes and Raptors. Ronnie Order finishing his warm-up tosses. He's been big this year for the Raptors. He is 6-4 in 14 starts, which includes a complete game shutout. Behind Orta will be Adams in left field, Dancero in center, Broughton in right. At third is Lewis, at short is Valdez, at second is Connors. At first is Workington, behind the plate is Juliana. And on the mound, Orta. Gio Diaz, he's down to 402, if such a thing can be said. He is second in the Pioneer League in hits behind Nico Popa. 123 hits. And 111 of those are singles. the guy gets on base. Oh, 1 in the dirt, 1-1. Diaz will have a shot to break Josh Broughton's record last year of 141 hits. But Nico Popa is probably going to do it first. So if Diaz does indeed break it, he will be doing so in second place all time. Here's the 2-1. That's outside, 3-1. Everybody in action today. Northern Colorado at Grand Junction. That's actually game 2 of a series that started yesterday. Up the middle. Valdez charges. He throws in time, and that's a nice play. One away. Billings and Missoula start a huge 6-game series. We talked about that in the pregame show. Mustangs 4 games back of the first place Paddleheads. Glacier will take on Great Falls. And Boise is in Idaho Falls, another all-Idaho series. Those two teams have something called the Traffic Cone Trophy that they fight over. The Hawks won the first Traffic Cone Trophy, and it's actually a real traffic cone on sort of a pedestal with a little baseball on top. Perhaps a little rudimentary, but certainly authentic. And it's a Traffic Cone Trophy because the interstate, there's an interstate in southern Idaho which runs roughly from Idaho Falls to Boise. Lopez down the line. That's extra bases, and that's into the corner. Will Ethan be content with 2? He will not. He's going for 3. Ethan Lopez, a stand-up triple. That's his 7th. He already had the most triples by any Vibes player in a single season with 6, and he's just added 1 to that. So the opening run is potentially 90 feet away. Beecham's going to bring his infield in. First pitch is high to Cantu. Vibes leader in runs, home runs, RBI. Been here since day 1. He's started now his 69th game of the season. Pulled off a breaking ball there. 1-1. Maybe a cutter from Orta. I don't have the pitch mix for all the Raptors players. That one had a bigger break, and it was a bigger miss. 1-2. Yulee takes strike 3. So Jacob Wesselman got 3 strikeouts in the first, and Orta gets his first here. So it'll be up to Luis Navarro, who, against these Raptors, earned himself a Player of the Week for the 12th week of play. Strike 1. He went 11 for 19. 4 doubles, 2 homers, 8 RBI. He drew 6 walks, and he did not strike out a single time against the Raptors. That's toward Connors, and this will not get the job done, as Orta will strand Lopez at third. So much like the Raptors first, it's no runs on a hit, no errors, a man left on base, but he was left at third. We go to the second, no score in our ball game. You're watching Vibes TV. Welcome back to UC Health Park. I'm Tyler Peterson. Thanks for joining us tonight. Here's Brian Dansereau, who sends this to the gap. Not waiting around. Dansereau is going to send this all the way to the wall, and he'll have 2. Lopez picking it up, and he'll hold him to 2, but Dansereau lead off double. Vibes have seen an awful lot of Brian Dansereau this year between his time with the Owls and now a couple series with the Raptors. He gets on in front of one of the best hitters this year in the Pioneer League. Not the best, because that title undoubtedly goes to Mr. Newman up in Missoula, Jason Newman, who is both honestly the best power hitter the Pioneer League has seen with 24 home runs, at least last time I checked. He's also the closer up there. But Valdez probably a second. 361, 17 home runs, and 86 RBI. He shows bunt, takes a strike. And I don't know why he's bunting. I mean, I know strategically why he's bunting, but for a guy who has as much power as he possesses. The 0-1, he squares around again, puts it down. Navarro is going to go to first. That's the sac bunt. That'll get Dansereau over to third with 1 out. And that'll bring up number 8, Ty Lewis. Lewis, also a former Owl. He was just acquired by the Raptors. This is actually, I believe, his first at bat. The Owls were in Ogden in the previous series, and they left Lewis in Ogden. They did not take him to Grand Junction. Acquired via trade. A couple of the teams in the Pioneer League now trying to consolidate assets, if you will. We saw Grand Junction trade for Ian Kahaloa and Jacob Cruz from the Boise Hawks. Boise then shipped Zach Penrod and that's outside. 3-1, or 3-0, excuse me. Zach Penrod, Byron Smith, and one other player who escapes me currently. They shipped them to Billings, who are really trying to go for it now. There's the first strike. Infield is in. Three and one to Lewis. Offers, but all he can do is foul that one away. And now it's a full count. On deck is Sonny Liana, the Raptors catcher. No score in our game. One out here in the top of the second. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Wesselman gets his fourth strikeout, and it's a big one as it comes with a man at third and just an out. So now the infield can play back again. Liana batting .318, 8 home runs, 37 RBI. Swing and a miss on the first pitch at 87 from Wesselman. Here's the 0-1. That's strike two. And now Wesselman in the driver's seat. Orta stranded a man at third with just one out in the bottom of the first. Wesselman trying to match that. The 0-2. We thought about it. Never actually offered 1 and 2. Wesselman in the windup with a man at third. And that's high. Double sack bunt strikeout is how the inning has gone. And that's hit a mile, but it's hit a mile foul. Into the berm. Oh, we'll get a couple kids running after that one. And a kid who brought his glove comes up with it. You have the advantage if you bring your glove to the ballpark. I highly encourage gloves at ballparks. Here's a 2-2 again. Swing and a miss. Wesselman, 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. No runs on a hit. No errors, a man left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. No score on Vibes TV. Welcome back to the game on Vibes TV. Tyler Peterson with you. Glad you can be along with us tonight. It's good to be back home after 16 games on the road. It felt like a season in between home games. Bottom two, scoreless. Cesar Lopez looks at strike one from Ronnie Orta. Lopez, Hansen, and Unknown. The first three to face Orta in this inning. Touch outside from the previous pitch. Lopez at 307, 3 and 33. High and away, ball two. It's a slight shift for Lopez. The man at third is pulled in. Connors at second is playing toward first base. Now Lopez has looked at four straight, 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one had some two-seam action running away from Lopez there. Just gets a piece of it. Breaking ball at 81. So whether it was a true breaking ball or just a changeup, certainly caught Lopez a little off guard. This is to Connors. And there's one away. Now Andrew Hansen, the center fielder, and Andrew, who, I mean, the anatomy of his season has been interesting. The first 2 games he ever had as a pro, 9 RBI. And then a long, let's call it downtrend. And then he had the walk-off bunt. He had a good series against the Owls. And then in Grand Junction, how about 3 home runs, including a grand slam? Grand slam in one game, and then a 2 home run game in another. So he's up to 4 big flies on the year, 32 RBI, batting at .279. Late call from Hodges, it's 0-2. Nice work from Uliana to bring that above the shins to the knees. You could just see him with a little flick of the glove there. And that's a 3-pitch SIA for Hansen. And he'll feel a little unlucky, so he'll shoot a look back to Doug Hodges. A good catcher can steal you a few strikes throughout a ball game. There's Mike Unknown. Mike has had the clutch gene all season. A 4 RBI night against the Rockies in that first game, the dramatic victory. Had 2 RBI singles off the closer for Grand Junction. Orta off the mound. Can he make the play? Yes, he can. 1, 2, 3. As that final out goes 1-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We head to the third. Still no score on Vibes TV. Top of inning number 3. No score in our ball game. It's time for our celebrity third inning, and if you are in the Fort Worth area and wanted to go to your Yellow Pages or your Yelp and look up a Dallas Gardener, you could do that. We have our own Dallas Gardener. It's our box office manager, Dallas Gardener.
What's up, Tyler? Thanks
How
for
are we
having me.
doing?
I'm doing well. Fantastic. Couldn't be better.
That's going to be an error on Ethan Lopez, so not the best start for Dallas in this inning, as Lopez could not handle that. But it's good to have you in here. I know you've been asking me to try to get you in. We finally did get you in, and I'm glad to have you here.
It's great to be here. You know, don't spend a lot of time up in the press box area, so it's good to get out and watch the game and get out of the dungeon, like we like to call it back there.
So you sell tickets, but there's an awful lot more to your job than just selling tickets. What is the day in, day out for you as a box office manager?
Sure. Just obviously selling tickets. I was originally hired to do season tickets, which has turned into groups as well. It's been great working in a small organization like this because you get to have your hands in multiple departments, doing things like painting around the office, grounds work, just chipping in wherever you need to make things happen. But it's great to be here.
Now, you are a SoCal native.
This is correct.
You are an Angels fan.
Angels fan. 2002.
How you doing? How you doing right now?
We're doing great. Today's a great day to be an Angels fan. If you saw, Artie Moreno is interested in selling the team. He took over the year after the Angels won the World Series in 2002, and he spent a lot of money, but hasn't panned out. So that's exciting. You being a Giants fan in 2002 there.
I remember where I was.
Yeah?
I remember. I was sitting on my...
How old were you at that time?
I would have been 7 years old, just turned 7.
Okay.
I remember my grandfather had it's a radio and TV in sort of a one contraption. It was a big, sort of monstrous thing that might be about the size of, maybe just your lap. But on one end of it, it had a dial for radio, and it had a little monitor that couldn't have been more than about 6 inches by 3 inches across. I mean, it was a tiny little thing. But I remember watching the game on that with little bunny ears antennas because the TV room was crowded with the rest of my family.
Wow. Yeah, I remember I was...
I made that sound like it was 1905.
I was 3 years old at the time, so so I just remember all the excitement from the family, and that's what really kind of got me into sports and baseball specifically. Having that connection with the Angels and, all the excitement around playoff baseball.
Navarro, he would have had Connors, but it's going to be a stolen base. Just could not hang on to that one. Perez, and it's a steal for Connors. And we're going to get a change on that as well. It's going to be a single to third base, so it's the third hit for Connors. He's at second with 1 out. We're here with our box office manager, Dallas Gardener. We're winding down. We want to have everybody on from our front office staff, and Dallas is here.
Nice
Swing
pitch there.
and a miss, 3-2. So what first made you want to get into baseball? Why minor league baseball? Why Rocky Mountain baseball?
Well, I really needed an internship to finish my sport business management degree at UCCS here. Just graduated in May, and it was a great opportunity to get into baseball and to be in town here. I definitely didn't want to pick something that was remote. I wanted to be hands-on and really doing something. So I feel like I made the right decision.
And it is, a grind throughout the season, but it's always better when you're working with people you enjoy, and we've enjoyed having you here. I think we got a pretty good group together. We've had a lot of fun this year.
Absolutely.
I'm talking like the season's over, and it's not because we still have 12 more home games, but It sort of feels like the end of the season. You can really feel it coming on game 75.
Yeah, really. I'm actually headed out here at the end of the month, back home to Southern California. Shout out roommate, my boy Matt's getting married, and I'm the best man for that, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Very nice.
Looking to continue staying out here, but we'll see what entails.
This is Matt Workington, 2 men on, 1 man out. Still no score in this ball game. These pitchers have done well to work out of a few jams. Wesselman looking to do that again here. And that hits Matt Workington.
Plunked him.
The bases will be loaded for Achekar. Well, you know, Dallas, we do have the front office contest.
We sure do.
How many runs you can score or how many you give up when you're on the mic. And we'll have you in here for a full inning, so you'll get both a chance to give up some and get some.
Now we're getting a double play ball right here.
I like the idea. 4-6-3, what are we thinking?
Let's see, who we got up?
This is Freddie Achekar, first baseman for the Raptors.
Yeah, I think we're going right to second base here. Quick turn.
All right, Dallas calls it. The first pitch to Achekar, swing and a miss.
Strikeout wouldn't be too bad either.
Achekar did strike out, looking in his first at bat in the first. Got dinosaurs all over here. That's outside, 1-1. What surprised you most about this season, your first year working in baseball?
What surprised me most? I don't know if it was surprising, but I think just the way that everybody comes together to really get everything done. No matter if it's really your department or not, people are chipping in and, you know, just helping where things need to be placed. So I don't know if it surprised me. I kind of figured that was the case, but maybe not to the extent that it's been. But it's been great. I think. Oh, let's go.
And it's past Michaels, and that is going to be an error.
Dang it.
It's going to score 2. So Achekar reaches on the E4.
That was close there to that double play ball.
1 RBI for Achekar, because you can't assume the double play. But you did almost have it there. So Connors scores, and Adams scores.
Not a great start.
Workington goes to third. And that'll bring up Dansereau.
All right, how about the double play ball to third base this time?
To go around the horn now. So E4, that'll be the first error now. It's 2-0, and that's a swing and a miss by Dansereau. Achekar will get credit for 1 RBI. Swing and a miss, Dansereau down 0-2. 5 strikeouts for Wesselman. And unfortunately, this first run would be earned for him. The second currently unearned. Way high. Tyler Peterson and Vibes box office manager, Dallas Gardner. Any shout-outs to give today?
Oh, sure, man. I'll shout out the whole state of California from north to south there. I know I got some family tuning in, friends. Natalie, shout out to you. Yeah, it's great to be in the booth. It's a nice night for baseball.
It is a nice night for baseball. It's not too hot. You know, it's funny. I was looking out today, and you could almost tell the sun setting a little bit earlier than it normally does, and of course it is. But Dallas giving shout-outs from all the way from Crescent City to San Isidro, all the way from top to bottom. This is toward Lopez. His only play will be at first, and unknown will bail him out.
If he wasn't taken off, I think that third base double play was looking.
I think you almost had two here.
Good.
Certainly, you've almost had two.
Tough. I given up 3 runs though. I can't lose to K.
So Dansereau grounds out 5-3. Workington scores. That will be unearned. And now here's Valdez.
I really have enjoyed my my time in the state of Colorado, though. It's a great switch up from Southern California.
Two outs now for Valdez. It's 3-0. Ogden, they've scored on just one hit. To Michaels. And that'll end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third. It's 3 runs on 1 hit and error, and a man left on base. 3-0 Ogden on Vibes TV. Welcome back to the ball game. 3-0 Raptors. Michaels, Perez, and Diaz. To face Ronnie Orta. Let's strike one to Michaels. Michaels, a former Raptor, as we've said 1,000 times on this broadcast. 321, 2 home runs, and 25 RBI with the Vibes. That does not account for his Raptors numbers. Up the middle, past the glove of Valdez.
There we go.
And the second Vibes hit. Our celebrity third inning continues in the bottom of the third with Dallas Gardner, our box office manager.
Thank you, Tyler, for having me.
It's good to have you in here. That'll bring up Brandon Perez. Now, I learned something interesting about UCCS. They have something specifically. The degree is sport communication, specifically the degree.
So sport communication, I believe, is... There we go.
That's a base hit to right. Back-to-back hits to start the inning.
Sport communication is a degree. My degree is in business administration with an emphasis in sport management.
So that's a little bit more, that's not so pigeonholed.
Right. So it is first and foremost a business degree with that emphasis in sport management. And so I had a lot of sports classes through my major, like sports law and things like that. But UCCS was a great school. I loved coming out here. I originally went to Chico State in Northern California for a couple years. And
the home of Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Not specifically Chico State, but
not Chico State, but the area.
The area.
Absolutely.
Butte Community College, to be exact.
Butte native. Diaz batting over 400.
4:01 now after that first out. into the screen. He grounded out to short to begin this ball game. I was trying to make noise. I gave up 3. 2 of those runs were unearned on the line of Wesselman. And that's strike 2. What do you see as sort of next for you? I know maybe you'd stick around here for maybe a bigger role next year, but I'm sure as someone young and ambitious, you're looking around as many are.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do want to see if there's a spot for me out here. I like the city. I like the area. I like this team and organization. So, if that's a possibility, I'd like to at least continue that for now. But go back down to Southern California and really explore my options. And don't know exactly what's in store, but I'm excited for the future, the things to come.
And where specifically in Southern California are you?
Born and raised in Murrieta. It's inland, kind of split between San Diego, LA, and Orange County.
Now, did you grow up with season passes to Disneyland or Universal Studios?
Not Disneyland, but as far as sports go, my grandparents had season tickets for the Angels and the Anaheim Ducks, and that allowed me to go to a lot of games. And
pass the glove of the third baseman. That's a base hit for Gio. Here comes Michaels. The throw is a good one, but it's cut off, and it's 3-1.
All right. Let's get a little rally going here.
That's a treble of singles, and it's 3-1. A little bit of an ole from Lewis, but it was a hot shot. He didn't have much of a chance. So 3-1, still no one out here in the bottom of the third. And now here's Ethan Lopez. It's funny, Dallas. I don't know. Obviously, you're not able to watch the games all the time, but it almost seems like
to stream them in the box office.
That's true. That's true. This team almost seems like they play better when they're trailing.
Yeah. It really kicks them into gear, I feel like.
Now, you don't want to have to do that.
No, it's not something you're going into the game looking for, but
it's
to be able to make that comeback and give your team that push, it's what you like to see. Team doesn't give up.
1-0 to Ethan, who tripled in the first. Down the right field line, but into the stands. Oh, what a nice play.
Great catch.
That dude at the last row stood up, bare hand, no problem.
That was sweet. Bare hand snag.
I wonder how hard that came off the bat. Michael will tell me over at the track, man. There's strike 2.
Tough pitch there.
They didn't get the speed on that one. We got AMR going over to that guy, checking on it, but he's like, no, I'm good. I made the catch. I got the ball. We're good. Not a lot of fuss or fanfare either. Stood up, made the bare hand catch, sat back down. This is grounded foul again to Joe Miklick, or rather Dave Hadjick, I believe, at third. So we got Hadjick at third and Josh Glenn doing the coaching at first. 1-2. Still no one out. Orta about to throw his 38th pitch of the ballgame. And I think Ethan went. Appeal. Is he not going to appeal?
Home plate ump called it.
Well, Ethan can appeal. And I'm not sure. He might not remember it. Or maybe he just isn't going to bother. That's a
maybe
strikeout.
He knew he went there.
And it's a strikeout swinging.
See a gapper here.
This is Ulysses Cantu, certainly someone who might be able to do that. Do you want an interesting stat?
Absolutely. I love stats.
The next time Ulysses Cantu draws a walk, it will be a team record for most walks in a season.
And how many are we at?
We are at 35 on the year for Cantu.
Okay.
Josh Barfield set that last year with 35. We got folks tonight who took advantage of the $2 Tuesday. I know that's popular in the box office, the $2 Tuesday.
Absolutely. We usually get a pretty good walk-up on the $2 Tuesdays. We got about 1,000 in park here. Fine Tuesday.
0-2 to Cantu. Ground ball toward Lewis, and that one's under his glove, and that time it's an error. Here comes Perez. He'll score. It's 3-2.
Take him any way we can get him.
Now that one, whereas the first time he olayed it, he didn't have much of a chance. That one he had a chance at.
That would be an error.
And that is an error. No RBI for Cantu. But Perez does score, and it's first and second. Still just one out, a 3-2 ball game.
Let's keep it going. I want to be in this press box for a little bit longer here.
You're trying to make up the 3 runs you gave up.
I'm trying to make up and then some here.
You need to at least break even. You don't want to end the season on a minus. Come on.
No.
Strike one to Navarro, who's up to 386, if you can believe it, coming into this game. He's the second best hitter on the team. You have to be, have a good nose for scouting and know people. Luis Navarro and Armando Valle, both coming from Lubbock Christian University, where Dave Hadjic brought them in from. First and second, one away. 0-2 to Navarro. That's strike 3 called. And if I'm reading our gun right, that came in at 95 from Orta. And that's going to be his 4th strikeout of the game. Here's Cesar Lopez. 2 away. Vibes have 2 in. That's outside. Now, did you play ball growing up?
Of course.
What position were you?
Mostly third base. A little pitch in here.
So you might have some critiques for Lewis here.
He really did try and olay it. He hit his glove out pretty far. I don't know.
Lopez out of play, 1-1. 92 from Orta, really pounding it right now.
Maybe a tough hop, but
yeah, know. You can't. Listen, you can't be too hard on the guy.
No,
It's certainly much easier sitting in this reclining wheelie chair than it is out there on the diamond, especially at the hot corner.
Yeah, they're coming quick over there.
Up the middle, Connors, a dive! It gets past him. This will tie the ball game.
There we go.
3-3. Diaz comes in from second. Cantu goes to third. It'll be an unearned run, but it will be an RBI for Cesar Lopez and the 3rd run of the inning. Men at the corners for Hansen. This will be the 8th man the Vibes send to the plate in this inning. All right, well, you're at least going to break even, Dallas. That I can promise you.
Let's see it, Hansen.
Struck out in his first at-bat. Takes outside at 93. Bit of a late start today at 6:39, less than an hour into our game. Hansen takes low, 2-0. No pitch clock. We've had no pitch clock this season. We've gone to pitch clock, and we're back to no pitch clock this season in the wild world of the Pioneer League.
Is the season finishing out with no pitch clock, or what's the reason behind that? Or is it two?
Ground ball toward Connors. And
hey,
that's the inning. You
Tyler,
broke even.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on, buddy.
Dallas, thank you for coming on. A 3-3 score, all in all. We sort of leave the game right as, well, when you found it.
There we are.
We'll head to the 4th on Vibes TV. Welcome back to Vibes Baseball on Vibes TV. Tyler Peterson with you. Glad we could have Dallas in for our celebrity third inning. He's been asking me for a while now, when am I coming on? When am I coming on? I was like, hey, anytime you want to come on, dude, come on. Top of the fourth, 3-3. Ty Lewis, who had a couple balls get past him, he bats, looking to do damage. And he has done damage to the Vibes in the past. Struck out in his first at bat. I think the most infamous play Lewis was involved in, at least from the Vibe standpoint, was the obstruction call down the right field line in that no-co series a few weeks back. 2's outside. Well, each pitcher has given up just one earned run. Each team has made an error. Line score through 3 is Raptors, 3 runs, 3 hits, an error. Vibes, 3 runs, 5 hits, an error. The Vibes aren't eliminated from the playoffs, but they more or less would have to go 19-0 to finish the season. That would get them up to a hypothetical 31-16 record. And they would need Grand Junction to basically go 500 the rest of the year as well. Lewis is going to work a walk. Second walk from Wesselman. And that'll bring up Ileana. He's one of the 5 men that Wesselman struck out in this game, and if that was a little bit lower to the bag, I think Wesselman would have had Lewis. For a righty, he's got a very quick move. Again, back to the bag is Lewis. A nice breaking ball to start the at-bat. That was the 60th pitch for Wesselman. Slightly high. I'd like to be about 60 pitches through 4 innings. Ileana hits this to right. It's a little bit of a lazy fly ball, and Diaz will put it away. That'll bring up the 9th man, Connors. Connors singled to start the 3rd, and it became a big inning for Ogden. He was the first of 3 runners to score in that inning. High for ball 1. Not sure who is starting tomorrow for the Vibes. It's not as crystal clear as it has been previously. You know, for a time there, it was the same 5 going, 5 days, 5 days, 5 days. The rotation is a little less clear right now. A lot of different arms that could go. I can tell you that Sidney Dupree will go for the Ogden Raptors on Wednesday, and Polo Portello on Thursday. Two 2-0 Connors with Lewis at first. Couldn't catch up to 86. And that's a well-placed fastball. Navarro wanted it high. It was above the hitting zone, but still one that tempted Connor. Or Connors, excuse me. That's foul into the Ogden dugout. Special hello to the 76 folks currently watching on Vibes TV. Two and two. Here it's back toward the press box and a little bit above us. That was above Cassie and Jake Ross in the PA booth. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball toward Lopez. This could be two. Michaels for one. Is it in time? It is. Around the horn, 5-4-3. Lopez to Michaels to a known. And the inning is over. No runs on no hits. No errors and no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the fourth on Vibes TV. 3-3. Back inside the broadcast booth at UC Health Park. I'm Tyler Peterson, and welcome into this 3-3 ball game. Both teams with a treble in the third. I don't know another word for a pair of threes. A trifecta in the third, I guess. First pitch to a known is a strike. Mike Anoa, Nick Michaels, Brandon Perez, the bottom three in this order. At least the bottom three tonight. We haven't seen Nick Michaels in the 8th spot very often at all. It's high 1-1. In the dirt, 2-1. Mike Anoa had a tough time on the IL. He had a wrist issue, one that they were really hoping would not require him to be out for very long. I think at the end of the day, instead of some sort of operation, I think it's sort of casually, slowly went away, and maybe a cortisone shot or two, something of that nature. Popped up on the infield. It's Lewis for the first out. Unknown is 0 for 2. That'll bring up Nick Michaels. We talked about Connors leading off the third with a single and then scoring. Well, Michaels did the same thing. He singled to start off the third, and he was one of 3 straight singles in the third. Brought in on a Gio Diaz RBI knock. Good swing by Michaels, but that's out of play. Ground ball to Connors. Second baseman grounds out to second baseman. 2 away in the inning. And now Orta, he's only at 57 pitches at this point. 2 away for Brandon Perez. Looks at strike 1 on the inside. Brandon likes that first pitch. He didn't like that particular first pitch, but usually likes the first pitch. And look at strike 2. And that's strike 3. Well, pitch clock or no pitch clock, that was a speedy inning. We head to the 5th, still 3-3 on Vibes TV. Top of the order for the Raptors, Josh Broughton. Then Pat Adams and Matt Warkinson. Welcome back to UC Health Park, Raptors and Vibes. Ground ball foul. 12 games between these two teams this year. Vibes have won 5, Raptors have won 7. Considerably better against the Raptors this year than last. Of course, you could say that in pretty much every department for this Vibes team, who have already eclipsed last year's number of wins. Better record by last year, certainly. They will likely have more wins than they did in the 2019 season. They had 32 wins back in a very short season. That was only a 75-game season. That's fouled back. Remember, the Pioneer League added 20 games. when they rebranded. It used to be 76. It's 96. The Vibes will only play 94 this year. This is to left field. Back is Lopez, and he runs it down. Broughton gave it a pretty good ride. Well, Lopez did a better job at tracking it down. So we mentioned Ethan Lopez breaking the triples record this year. He's got 7. The previous high was 5. Gio Diaz, of course, already eclipsed the hit record. That was back at 104. He's at 123. A couple others that will be broken. The RBI record will be broken by Cantu. He's at 65. The record is 70. The walk record will be broken by Cantu. He just needs one more. He's already tied for the record with Jacob Barfield. Diaz will have the average record because 332 is the previous high. Same can be said for on base. Slugging might be another question. Jacob Barfield had a slugging percentage of .590. Now Luis Navarro is at .621, but Luis Navarro will need 2.7 plate appearances per game to qualify. And right now with his 145 at-bats by the end of the season, don't ask me to do that math, folks, but I can tell you it won't be enough. Whatever that number has to be, he won't get there. And rightfully so, because he's only played half a season. I mean, despite that, he's got 5 bombs and 31 driven in. This is a 2-2 count to Adams. And that's strike 3. It's the 3rd time that Wesselman has caught someone looking. It was a good frame from Navarro, and like we said with Uliana earlier, a good catcher can steal you a strike from time to time. Even better for a pitcher if it happens to come with 2 strikes. 2 away here in the 5th for Workington, who's been on base twice, a single and a hit by pitch. One thing the Vibes have not done this year, which they did quite well last year, is get players signed to Major League camps. Last year they had 5. Carlos Tirado signed with Pittsburgh, Augustin Herrera with Kansas City, Jose Gomez with the Mets, Angel Camacho with Pittsburgh, and Francisco Romero with the Braves. But no one yet this year. Overall, the league has seen sort of a trend down. There have not been as many guys signed this year. Oh, 0-2. Matt Workington himself is a Pioneer League success story. However, he finds himself back in the Pioneer League. Made it to Myrtle Beach this year with the Cubs. That's the Carolina League in low A. Batted .234, no home runs, 13 RBI. Last year he was in Myrtle Beach and South Bend. The count will run full. Base is empty, 2 outs. And now we have time at the plate. I see a couple radar guns in the crowd, which tells me there's a few scouts in attendance. That is strike 3 called. Wesselman strikes out back-to-back Raptors looking. And that ends the inning. That one slightly better than the one to Adams. May have been a touch inside, but again, a nice frame from Navarro. 7 strikeouts for Wesselman. We'll take a break as we head to the bottom of the 5th here on Vibes TV. Welcome back to the game, folks. Bottom 5, Vibes and Raptors tied at 3-3. Diaz looks at ball 1. I think Matt Workington at first base is thinking, oh, now it's a ball. Diaz swings, fouls at the plate. That's high. Two and one to Gio Diaz, who knocked in a run in his last at bat in the 3rd. That misses it well, 3-1. And we get both a protest from catcher and pitcher. But again, that's one that Doug Hodges had called earlier because Uliano brought it in the zone, and Uliano tries to bring it up into the zone again, but he gets a ball this time. That's over Workington, and it's going to get past the right fielder, Broughton. Diaz has 2. He will be stopped there with a leadoff double. Boy, Matt Workington, he's got a 6'6" frame over there, and he nearly caught that one out of the air. And that's a double for a double-double in our new sponsorship with In-N-Out. So some folks in the crowd are going to get some free double-doubles. Here's Ethan Lopez. Vibes looking for their first lead of the ball game. Ground ball foul. A triple and a strikeout, the 2 at-bats for Lopez today. Swing and a miss. It's now down 0-2. And that's a wild swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 6 for Orta. And that'll bring up Cantu. 7 strikeouts for Wesselman, 6 for Orta. This is a really nice pitching matchup we've got going right now, which is keeping a good pace to this ball game. Cantu takes strike 1. You know, Orta's got something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, whether it's the slider or the cutter, that he's getting a lot of strike 1s on. That's inside. 1-1. But it's got good movement, good speed. I'd imagine it's a cutter. .510, 195 from Caracas, Venezuela is Ronnie Orta. That's in the dirt. It's the first time the Raptors have come to town this year, which, you know, there are scheduling oddities all around. We had probably a few more oddities than we did last year, but to have a division rival come to town for the first time in the last 3 weeks. Well, heck, we're not even going to see Boise this year at home, so there's that as well. Half swing. Does he go? Yes, says Anthony Prater, who is at second base. I'd say that's a 50-50 swing by Cantu. Maybe you just caught the bat head there on the broadcast coming around. Now the 2-2. Stays alive. Strikeout and reached on an error. It was an error by Lewis that allowed a run to score. Leadoff double by Diaz. Can the Vibes bring him in? The count will run full. Cantu, a ground ball into right field. That's a base hit. Will Hadjic send Diaz? He will not. It'll be first and third. And a strong throw from a guy with a strong arm. As men on the corners with 1 out. That'll bring up Navarro. So will there be any action on the base paths now? Hadjic giving the signals, at third. Navarro, a ground out and a strikeout. He'll need to put the ball in play, preferably to the outfield. Cantu, about average speed at first. Back to the bag is Cantu. Navarro, that is into center field for a base hit, and the Vibes have the lead. Connors not as tall as Workington, Did not make the catch anyhow. Even if he was Matt Workington, maybe if Connors was 6'6", he would have had a better chance, but that one over his glove. And it's a RBI single for Navarro and the first lead of the game for Rocky Mountain. First and second now for Cesar Lopez. Swings, hits this to Valdez, and it's over Valdez! That's going to be a base hit. Here comes Cantu, the throw to third. Navarro is safe. A wicked hop over Jesus Valdez, and you can't blame him. That's a hit all the way. So Lopez with his second RBI single. And it's 5-3. Boy, Navarro was really chugging to third, and he made it, according to third base umpire Rob Minter. The throw beat him, but he made it into the bag. So men at the corners, 1 out. Here's Hansen. And now more speed at first than there was before in Lopez. Hansen a swing and a miss. Orta 95 right past him. Back to the bag is Lopez. Cesar this year is 2 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Hansen another swing and a miss, and again 95 miles an hour. Hansen into right center. Scoring is Navarro. He's headed to second. He'll slide with a double. And it's a 3-run inning for the Vibes. Stay hot, Hansen. Double, single, 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 double. Men are at second and third. Again, the Raptors have really nothing to lose but the game. They are already in the playoffs. You never want to lose in any situation, of course, but no matter how the end of this season goes, they will be hosting at least one playoff game. It's a different format this year. Last year was extremely strange. It was a 1-game divisional series. So not much of a series at all. Ogden hosted that game, had a traditional extra innings, and lost to the Boise Hawks in what was a 5-hour contest. A dramatic game. This year, it's 3-game series, and I believe that the team which wins the first half, so Ogden, toward Connors, off his glove. It's going to be an infield single. The throw home is not in time. A hit and 2 RBI for Mike Anone. And now it's a 5-run inning, and that'll bring out Cash Beecham. Miguel Sereno was warming, and it looks like he will be brought into this game. We'll take a break. We'll come back. 8-3 Vibes here in the bottom of the 5th. Miguel Sereno into the 5th inning now for the Raptors. The Vibes have scored 5 times on 6 hits in the inning. Nick Michaels against Miguel Sereno. Sereno is a 6'2", 200 right-hander from Loiza, Puerto Rico. His 26th game, a 6.08 ERA. He's 0-1. Michaels a swing and a miss. 0-1. For Ronnie Orta, it's 4 1/3 innings. 11 hits, 6 runs, 6 were earned. Or excuse me, 8 runs, 6 were earned. That's what I said. Might have said 6. No walks and 6 strikeouts. That's strike 2. A bit of frisbee action from Sereno. Swing and a miss. No frisbee that time. 94 right by him. Certainly a low 3/4, if not sidearm. First strikeout for Sereno, 7th for Raptors pitching. Here's Brandon Perez. He's the 9th man to bat in the inning. Down low, 1-0. Perez swings and misses. He's 1 for 2 today, a single and a strikeout. Stays alive. Or, I should say, that sends it to 1-2. The 1-2 to Perez. He swings and misses. Strikeout 2 unassisted. And the inning is over. So Sereno does his job. He comes out of the bullpen. He strikes out the 2 men he sees. But 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and a man left on. The Vibes, they'll give Jacob Wesselman his first lead of the night. He'll come out for the 6th, leading 8-3 on Vibes TV. It's the top of the 6th. It's 8-3 Vibes. Welcome back on Vibes TV. I'm Tyler Peterson. So glad you could join us tonight for some Pioneer League action. Freddie Achikar takes strike 1. See what else is going on around the league. The NoCo Owls and the Grand Junction Rockies tied up 3 apiece. That game in the top of the 6th in Grand Junction. Billings leads Missoula 4-1. That's in Billings, and that's in the 6th. And that is a series that will be very interesting this week. Billings 4 games back at Missoula. They have right now the 2nd best record in the North overall and in the second half. So a couple different ways the Mustangs might be able to finish off this season with a playoff spot. Chikar takes low. Glacier leading Great Falls 3-0. You know, if Glacier wins that ball game, they will climb out of the cellar and move into 4th place. They have had a great last 10 games. Range Riders, who we saw all the way back on games 1 through 6, they're 7-3 in their last 10. So are the Mustangs. They're 8-2. But to give you an idea about Missoula, they're 9-1 in their last 10. Now to play. It's still 1-2. Last game to tell you about is in Idaho Falls. Boise and Idaho Falls, an all Idaho matchup. 1-1 in the 4th. To center, Hansen. Underneath it, makes the catch. We're purely under the lights now. Sun is completely set behind the Rockies. Here's Brian Dansereau. Dansereau a double and an RBI ground out. So he's been important today. Heads up, folks. And a couple guys went after it, and a young lady gets the ball. Play of the night is still the gentleman down the right field line, who, by the way, is in one of those very clean baby blue Springs jerseys. Made a barehanded, one-handed catch. Stretched the arm out and caught a... It was a line drive. It was a pretty good line drive, and he caught it. If you want one of those clean baby blue Springs jerseys, we have some available in our store. To center, that will fall, and Dansereau has his 2nd hit. Our store here at UC Health Park is the General S'more. So if you are here listening to the game, you want one, they are in there for you. Otherwise, if you were just watching and just want to know what they look like, vibes.milbstore.com is your place to go. Maybe that'll wet your whistle. Here's Jesus Valdez, who sacrificed himself in the 2nd on a bunt and grounded out in the 3rd. Line drive, foul, and just barely. Vibes with a 5-run 5th. That has put them ahead of Ogden. Check on Dancero. He gets back. Wesselman at 95 pitches on the night. No one warming too rapidly. I see the newest Vibe, Damon Ellis, sort of playing toss. Big swing by Valdez, but he fouls it back. He certainly does not get cheated. I mean, that is a full hit yourself in the back or hit the catcher sometimes as well. You know, he's wearing 29. It makes me sort of think about Miguel Tejada at the start of the year. He had a huge, big swing, big backswing like that. Here's the 0-2. Outside. 1-2. Wesselman's 1-2. There goes Dancero. It swung on and missed. The throw down is in time. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Great pitch, great throw, and great tag. I mean, that was on the money. You could see it on our broadcast. It was right there for Michaels. A double play ends the inning. We head to the bottom of the sixth, 8-3 Vibes. Well, after he leads off the fifth with a double, Gio Diaz will lead it off here in the sixth. 8-3, the Vibes lead. Takes that in the dirt. Miguel Sereno still on the mound for Ogden. He saw two batters in the fifth. He struck them both out. Very effective in a good situation as well to be effective. From the windup, though, this time. That's strike one. For Wesselman, that's his 8th strikeout, which ties a season high going back to his Grand Junction numbers. He did that 2 times in a Rockies uniform. A story you may have missed if you weren't watching the Vibe series in Grand Junction, the Rockies were bought. They were bought out by the group, the Future Legends group, so I believe the Katofsky family is the name of that family who owns that conglomerate, if you will. They own the Owls, and now they'll own the Grand Junction question marks for next year. So there will be a new name for that team. Diaz up the middle, and he's got a 3-hit night. That'll bring up Ethan Lopez. I heard Ethan Jordan, who is the Rockies broadcaster, discuss during their game some potential names thrown out early, and I guess one name bandied about, I guess more in jest rather than seriously, but Grand Junction Cliffhangers, which I think is a certain charm to it, right there on the Grand Mesa. But there will be a new name in Grand Junction. I saw an article a few days ago about the owner of this club, the Ogden Raptors, Dave Baggett. I believe he was quoted in an article potentially bringing a Pioneer League team to the Logan, Utah area as soon as 2024. And we know the Pioneer League wants expansion. They want expansion next year, in fact, is what I understand. So whether we go to 12 teams by next year, in 2024, I know the administration has wanted to grow in that capacity, bring more baseball to more communities. And I know Logan for sure, or at least the area near Logan, Utah. Ground ball to Valdez. This is going to be a 6-4-3 double play, and what a stretch by Workington. The throw from Connors was a quick one. It had to be. But it was not an accurate one. And Workington saved that play on the other end. Certainly helps to be 6'6". Long legs at first base. 2 away now for Cantu. So I think Logan, which was definitely in the mix last year, may indeed well be part of the future for the Pioneer League. I know, when they were talking about expansion last year, and eventually the Flathead Valley was granted a team, and that, of course, is the Glacier Range Riders. Places such as Pocatello, Twin Falls, Casper, places that have had Pioneer League teams in the past. Those names were thrown around, and I have no idea how far any of the development got into any of those cities, but we knew the Owls were coming back to Windsor. And right now there's just one Utah team. Swing and a miss. Remember back in the start of 2021, it was just the 9 teams because NOCO was going to sit it out after COVID. Cantu, he's going to have a base hit. Workington went a long way. Was able to get a glove on it, but Ulysses is going to have his second hit of the night. But when NOCO said it will sit out, build our stadium, and I understand it'll be ready for next season. I believe June of 2023 was a figure I saw. I don't know how that's been updated since. But they needed to fill that spot with a 10th team, and the Boise Hawks, who got dropped by the the Northwest League, they filled that slot. First pitch is a called strike one. We now have 3 teams in Colorado, 4 teams in Montana, the 2 in Idaho, and the 1 in Utah. Navarro to right. Back is Broughton. It's over his head. It's going to one-hop the wall. Are they going to send Cantu? They will not. And Navarro, his second hit, and now a 2-out rally for the Vibes. Where would you like to see expansion? Because it's coming. I think it's. I don't know that it's not official or anything, but my understanding is that it's coming. So whether it does come to the Logan area, and if you're not familiar with where Logan is, it's real close to the Idaho border, northern Utah. Cesar Lopez with 2 away, looks at a ball 1. I mean, a place like Orem, I mean, there was Pioneer League baseball in Provo and Orem forever. Helena had the Brewers 2 separate times. Once they moved to Provo to become the Angels, and the second time, well, you're looking at the Helena Brewers. They're these Rocky Mountain vibes. Brewers moved to Colorado Springs in 2019 to become the Vibes when the Sky Sox left for San Antonio, if I have that correct. It's 1-2. And we're going to have the on-plate umpire join this conversation because Uliana and Sereno are having issues with the signs. And you do this so that you don't waste a mound visit. If you tell the umpire, hey, he's crossing me up right now, then it doesn't count as a catcher's visit. You only get so many. One and 2 the count. That's outside. Sereno went strikeout, allowed a single, erased that man on double play, and then with 2 outs, a single and a double. Lopez in a 2-2 count. It's outside as well, 3-2. So with men at second and third, no one's going to be running. And that's strike 3 called. The inning is over. No runs on 3 hits, no errors. 2 men left on base. We head to the 7th. It looks like Wesselman's night is over. It looks like Damon Ellis coming in from the bullpen in an 8-3 game on Vibes TV. Welcome back to Vibes Baseball on Vibes TV. It's the top of the 7th. It's an 8-3 lead for Rocky Mountain. Damon Ellis is now in this ball game. He is the newest Vibe. He was added in that series in Ogden. He's pitched twice thus far, 2 scoreless appearances, and picked up a win, most recently in the opening game of the Rockies series when the Vibes won that game. He picked up the win then. Lewis Uliana Connors to face Damon Ellis. Boy, for some reason, something has gotten into a group of fans who are really giving it to Ty Lewis right now. I mean, I have not heard that section of fans say anything the entire night, and now they are going into Ty Lewis. 0-2. It's a mighty battle right now between Navarro and Ellis. And I think if we had the pitch clock, I think that would have been a few strikes, or excuse me, a few balls on Damon Ellis. I think Ty Lewis has to be thinking right now, why would you pick me now all of a sudden? I do know Damon has a curveball, which he is very proud of, and he'll use in a lot of different situations. Ground ball, Mike Unknown to a covering Damon Ellis, and he drops the ball. And that's going to be an E1. So Damon got there, perhaps just took his eye off the ball while trying to find the bag, and it'll be an inning opening error. Here's Uliana. 5 runs is not much in the Pioneer League as far as leads go. Damon Ellis is 3rd Pioneer League team. He was with Great Falls at the start of last year. Ground ball past Perez, and that's a single. So an error and a single to start this inning, 2 men on. He was traded to Idaho Falls halfway through. Began the season with Idaho Falls. Was released. Went to the tryout camp, was not drafted, and signed by the Vibes. So here's Connors now, 2 men on. Full slate of Pioneer League games as well, a full slate of Major League games. Just 1 final so far in MLB today. Cubs, a 2-0 win at home over the Cardinals. A bunch of games in play at the moment. Top of the 9th, Reds trail the Phillies 5-4. Orioles a 5-3 lead at home over the White Sox. Oh, I tell a lie. There's one more final today. It was Braves 6-1 over the Pirates at PNC Park. Connors a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Subway Series, Yankees up 4-2 on the Mets. The Giants up 3-1 on the Tigers in interleague play. Rays 11-1 in the top of the 9th over the Angels. Blue Jays 8, Red Sox 1, that game in the 5th. And, it's a doubleheader in Chicago. It's Cardinals 7-0 in the top of the 6th. Astros lead 2-0 over the Twins in the 6th. Royals and D-backs tied in the 6th in Kansas City. The somewhat hometown Rockies, hometown to the eastern part of Colorado, about an hour north of here. They trail the Rangers 6-3. They are home. Padres and Guardians scoreless in the 2nd. A's and Marlins scoreless in the 2nd. That's also fouled by Connors. Still 2-2. 2 games yet to start, or at least on this particular one. I think I might need to find a better website for these scores because it says 2 games haven't started yet. Oh, yeah, I am. For whatever reason, the website I was on was a few innings behind, so we actually have quite a few finals, including the about first 6 that I mentioned. 3-2 to Connors. Well, thanks a lot, Microsoft. Ground ball, that will get through. It's going to score a run. Will it be 2 for Connors? The throw to second is not in time. It's a double. An RBI double for Dakota Connors. And it's a 4-run lead. I think that'll shoot up a flare in that Vibes bullpen. That'll bring up the dangerous Josh Broughton. Broughton. The future participle, I believe. Lopez in at third. I'll try to cut down a run at the plate. It's Uliana at third and Connors at second. First 3 men have reached. Broughton deep to left center. Over is Hansen. He'll make the catch. The runner at third will tag. And that'll be a run. So Broughton a sac fly. And now it's 8-5. It's a 3-run ball game. Connors will stay at second. And now Pat Adams. He'll take one high. So DeMond Ellis gives up his first runs, an unearned and earned one. It's a man at second, 1 out. Two back for the Raptors. They scored 3 in the third and have been scoreless since. Ground ball. Michaels gets a big hop off the grass. Throws to first. There's 2 away. To third goes Connors. That'll bring up the big Matt Workinson. Workinson sure is a specimen, that's for sure. 6'6", 250. And how could you not want to have a guy on your team on the baseball diamond at 6'6", 250 and can hit the ball out of the ballpark? Fastball at 91 for strike 1. Two outs in the inning, but 2 runs in for Ogden. Workinson fouls this away, and Ellis is now ahead in the count, 0-2. Pete Bayer in the bullpen, starting to get warm. Workinson, that's an excuse me foul ball. And that one's actually going to go over our concession stands. Fire pits are being used tonight. We see some s'mores roasting going on down the right field line. We have active fire pits here, if you don't know, where folks can roast s'mores. Workinson back off the sweets. and back into the General Bowl. Still 0-2. Breaking ball. Everyone took a few steps, but everybody goes back. Sometimes if you start a ball in the strike zone, it dips out, you get the call. I don't know that one ever really started in the strike zone. It was close for sure. And that's in the dirt, and now the count is even 2-2. Runner still at third. Back to Ellis. Underhand flip, and the inning is over. One, 3 on the ground out. It's 2 runs on 2 hits, an error, and a man left at base on third. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Vibes lead 8-5 on Vibes TV. Welcome back to Vibes Baseball on Vibes TV. Adam Scoggins, the lefty, making his second Raptors appearance in an 8-5 ball game. Hanson, Unknown, Michaels, the 3 will face Scoggins in the bottom of the 7th. Hanson shows bunt. Does he pull it back? He does not. It's strike 1. Nice work from Miguel Sereno. 1 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. The Vibes have not drawn a walk tonight, but that's okay when you have 14 hits. Now that's a strike that goes all the way back to the screen, so it won't count as a pass ball. Uliana certainly trying to frame that one. Raptors will take the strike. Hey, a lot of times those go right through the strike zone and you don't get the call. So I think that's the case that time. A ball that, look, it goes through the imaginary box. I love having to sometimes explain baseball to friends or family who are foreigners and are not familiar with baseball. I basically tell them, look, there's this imaginary box that only the umpire can see, and the pitcher has to try to throw it through that box. And if they do, it's a strike. It's a complicated sport. 3-1. It's not like we have nets here. It's not hockey or basketball or soccer. Hansen strikes out. I guess the closest you could sort of get to the strike zone in a sport would be like crossing the plane of the goal line in football. But even so, then there's a line, right? But the plane is an imaginary line that goes straight up into infinity all the way to Pluto from the goal line. Whereas the strike zone is completely amorphous. Now, of course, we do have the technology now with TrackMan and the talk of robo-umps. I mean, we'd still have an umpire back there. He just would get a buzz if the not-so-imaginary box, now a digital box, was telling him, yep, that was in the zone, or no, that was not in the zone. And it's certainly a league like the Pioneer League that could be a experimental league where you could implement something like that if Major League Baseball was so inclined. A known out of play. As much as it is about winning and losing on the field, it is at its core a developmental league, the Pioneer League. Moving guys up and on into the affiliated minors. Popped up. Valdez calls off Connors, and there's 2 away. So a quiet 7th thus far for Rocky Mountain. Last time Raptors scored 3 in the 3rd, they answered back with 3 of their own, but Scoggins trying to keep this a 1-2-3 inning. Here's Michaels. Adam Scoggins, a 6'3", 220 left-hander from Springdale, Arkansas. 24 years old. Spent some time in the Dodgers organization. Played at Oral Roberts University. This has hit a mile. Lewis still drifting, but puts it away. The inning is over, and it's a 1-2-3 7th for Scoggins. We head to the 8th. 8-5, the Vibes lead on Vibes TV. Top of the 8th, 8-4. The Vibes lead the Raptors. Welcome back into UC Health Park. Damon Ellis still on the mound. He'll face Freddie Achekar. Brian Dancero and Jesus Valdez on deck and in the hole. It's high for ball 2. Achekar today has an RBI, but it was on a ball he hit for an error. So he's 0 for 3 officially. But in a 3-0 count here. Seth Davis warming for the Vibes. And that's low for ball 4, so we'll lead off walk. In the end of the 7th, as we head to the top days, we always do our military salute for each of the branches. And now Space Force is included as well. I just wanted to talk about, since it's somewhat of local interest, did you see the Space Force jerseys that Air Force football is putting out this year? I encourage you to check those out if you haven't seen them. Those are some very cool threads. Dancero over the sweets. 9 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time. Played under an hour and a half. Or excuse me, 2.5 hours. Jeez, hour and a half, that really would be something. Down the right field line. Diaz over. Toward the bullpen. Out of play. A couple of the guys down there were bailing out of the way. Oh, 0-2 to Dancero. Line drive to left field. Will it hang up for Cesar Lopez? It will. So Ellis lucky, Dancero unlucky, and that'll bring up Jesus Valdez. Seth Davis potentially getting ready for Ty Lewis, who is now on deck. That is unless maybe Ellis can induce a ground ball here. Rockies now lead the Owls 5-3. That's in the bottom of the 7th. In the top of the 7th, Billings now up 8-2 on Missoula, which will be a huge result for the Mustangs. Snap throw to first, and getting back is Achekar. It was a ball to Valdez. Glacier up 6-0 on Great Falls. That's in the 7th as well. And Boise 4-1 over the Chuckers in the 6th. A couple different results there that will seek to sort of upset what's happening in the North. If Glacier wins, if everything holds right now. Shot past Lopez into the corner. They're going to hold at third. Achekar. It's a double for Valdez. And it's going to be second and third with just one out. Lewis up to bat. Is that going to be it for Damon Ellis? Well, here comes Mike Garcia. I don't know if he's going to make the change, but he'll certainly talk. So if everything holds right now in these games, that means Glacier would jump both Idaho Falls and Great Falls into third place, and the Mustangs would only be 3 behind. And that will be it. Garcia's going to make the change. In comes Seth Davis. We'll take a break. for a new pitcher. 8-5, the Vibes lead. Welcome back to UC Health Park. It's second and third, one away here in the eighth. The Raptors will have the tying run coming to the plate, and it's Reese Alexiadis who will pinch hit. So Alexiadis, the righty, coming in for Lewis. He'll counteract the lefty into the ballgame. Devon Ellis goes to 1 1/3. 3 hits, 2 runs, an earned run. A walk, no strikeouts. He's responsible for both men. Seth Davis needs to get back in the groove. He's had a rough road trip. 2-1 record, his 21st appearance, an ERA of 6.35. He is the 8th inning guy. This is his kind of spot. So Alexiadis will pinch hit here in the 8th. To get a man in. I mean, he'd love to tie this game as well. First pitch, strike from Davis. Alexiadis, a second-year Raptor. .355 this year, 10 home runs, and 78 RBI. A huge year. Breaking ball in the dirt. This is a big moment here. Need to get at least one out on Alexiadis. Vibes will trade the run for the out. The infield is back. That's strike 2 on the good curveball. Davis is a really good strikeout pitcher. 33 Ks in 22 2/3. A strikeout would be huge here. Fastball is a touch high. Going for the swing more than the call there. But Alexiadis was able to lay off. And he got him. Huge strikeout for Seth Davis. And in the end, Alexiadis ended up chasing. And that'll bring up Sonny Uliana. You must be careful because there's still power at the plate. And that is still potentially the tying run. Swing and a miss. Off speed from Davis. Strike 2 called. Same pitch, this time in the zone. And now Uliana is down 2 strikes. I'd imagine Davis might drop the hammer. He could rev it up to the low 90s. Let's see which poison he picks. And I think that was a 3rd consecutive changeup, I believe. So neither of the two I suggested. And I will not tell Seth how to do his job because I can't even throw a curveball, much less grip one. In the dirt, blocked by Luis Navarro. I want to say hello to the 90 viewers still with us. And hello to the 1907 in the ballpark tonight. That's right about the season average, about a little more than 1,900. Nice crowd on a Tuesday, on a $2 Tuesday. The 2-2 is in the dirt. Now on deck is Connors, who has 2 hits in the ballgame. So Davis, I'm sure, does not want to put the tying run on base. Because the absolute worst that can happen on this next pitch is the game is tied. But Connors could actually give the Raptors the lead. Just outside. And it's a walk. So Connors at the plate, Broughton on deck, and now this gets a little bit scary. We're going to get a pinch runner. It's going to be Dustin Macaluso running at first base. So Macaluso will run for Uliana, and I think Cash Beecham has now used both his designated pinch hitter and designated pinch runner. Connors with the bases loaded and 2 outs. This is the chance for the Raptors. First pitch is in the dirt. 87 from Davis. Walk, line out, double, strikeout, walk. That's how this inning has gone. The runners at second and third are property of Damon Ellis. The man at first is Seth Davis's. And now it's 2-0. And now Connors can be extremely selective. It's a 3-run lead for the Vibes. Vibes bullpen is quiet. Connors takes a strike. When in doubt, go to the curveball. Connors to right. Diaz is there, and that's the inning. So Davis does get out of it. He strands not only runners at second and third, but he strands the bases loaded. No runs on a hit, no errors, 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of inning number 8. 8-5, the Vibes lead. Welcome back to the ball game. Vibes lead 8-5 here on a Tuesday night at UC Health Park. New pitcher for Cash Beecham. It's kind of a cool story. Evan Parker is pitching. He is the bullpen coach and a player, sort of a player manager. Parker's 6'2", 198 from Ogden, Utah. He is 30 years old. Or excuse me, he's 29. He's not 30 yet. He'll face Perez, Diaz, and Lopez. Miguel Pozo warming in the bullpen, and we'll get a new edition of the Miguel Pozo show, so should this stay the same. Perez back to the screen. Parker this year has sort of been activated and deactivated a few different times. But he is active. His 11th appearance overall, an ERA of 7 and no record. Changes on the diamond for Ogden as well. Perez out of play. In center field, it's Reese Alexiadis. He'll push Brian Dansereau over to right. And Lewis is out of the game. Broughton instead will be at third. Oh, 0-2 to Brandon Perez. Ground ball foul. Adam Scoggins, 1 inning in the 7th. No hits, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. That's in the dirt. 1-2. Top of the order to face Miguel Pozo in the 9th inning. So he'll get the best of Ogden, and Ogden will get the best of the Vibes. That's into the gap. Perez rips that one. That's going to be extra bases. 2 or 3? He's going to have 2, and smartly puts on the brakes. So a leadoff double off Parker. Gio Diaz and the top of this Vibes order with Perez at second. Again, it would be incorrect to say that these games don't matter to Ogden. They do. It's just it'll have no effect on their playoff. They're going to have the option of hosting that first game or getting games 2 and 3. They've already won the first half, so they can decide how they want to structure their playoffs. And that is, I do believe, the new rule this year is that whichever team wins the first half gets to decide whether they want game 1 or they want games 2 and 3. So we're going to get at least one game in each park of whichever team is going to face the Raptors and the Paddleheads. Diaz pops this up. Is this in play? Workington over. It will not be in play. It lands in the 5th row of the seats. Two and 1 to Gio Diaz, who has 3 hits tonight. It's outside, now 3 and 1. Diaz, sky high. Who wants it? Connors. Does he see it? Yes, he does. He makes the catch. That got a little antsy there, but the out was still had. So 1 out now for Ethan Lopez, who tripled all the way back in the first, but has since struck out twice and hit into a double play. It's inside. Did it clip, Ethan? I thought I heard an extra tap in there, but apparently not. Parker from Ogden, Utah. The Vibes don't have anyone specifically from Colorado Springs. They have a guy who played on UCCS, and they have Colorado natives, but no one from the city itself. Perez at second, 1 away. Towards center field, that's a base hit. They're sending the runner. The throw from center is a good one, and he is safe. The throw to second, not in time. A single. A run-scoring single, and it's 9-5. 0-2 to Ulysses Cantu. And that's a swing and a miss. Two-way now for Luis Navarro. There's strike one. A double for Perez to lead off the inning. Diaz popped up and popped out. Cantu struck out. And now it's Navarro with two away. Navarro 2 hits, including an RBI single and a double. He's 2 for 4 tonight. Miguel Pozo still stretching and tossing down there. May or may not be ready to come into the next inning. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. I still think we will see Pozo come into this game, despite it not being a save situation. But we'll see. Outside 3-2. And now we have time at the plate. A full count to Luis Navarro with a man at second. That's Lopez. Popped up, out of play, toward me, and right above me. I did bring my glove in my car, but glove didn't make it to the press box, unfortunately. Still 3-2. That's fouled away. Another 3-2 from Parker. And that's in the dirt. It's ball 4. So Cesar Lopez will get one more at bat. The question is now, who else will get one more at bat? Oh, excuse me, it is, well, it will be, but Ulysses Nunez will run it first. So Nunez will be the designated pinch runner for Luis Navarro. And Joe Encarnacion will now come in for Ethan Lopez. So 2 pinch runners, and one of them is out of this ballgame. Here's Cesar Lopez in a 9-5 ballgame. 2 on, 2 out, and he has 2 RBI singles in this ballgame. Inside. Two and 0 now to Cesar. And close to being strike one, but 3 and 0. And there's strike one to Lopez. Top of the order due up for Ogden in the 9th. Will it be Pozo? Will it be Davis? I think if we see another run here, it'll be Davis. Lopez takes ball 4. So the bases are going to be loaded for Andrew Hansen. He had a grand slam in the Rockies series. A run in on the inning on the Ethan Lopez RBI single. And Hansen has a chance to really break this inning open and put this game to bed. Hansen takes ball 1. RBI double in the 5th. Made 1 for 4 nights. That's high, 2-0. Parker's walked 2 straight. 9-5 here in the bottom of the 8th. In the air. Center field. Alexiadis. He will make the catch to the 9th, 9-5. Top of the ninth. It is the Miguel Pozo Show. He'll face the top of the order. Broughton out of play. Pozo, the closer, the best pitcher on this squad. And I know you weren't able to hear it, but if you're familiar with what happens with Edwin Diaz in New York, Narco by Blaster Jacks over the loudspeakers, you were able to see it, but you weren't able to hear it. This is the center field, and this is out number 1. So Broughton flies out, and there's 1 away. Not a safe situation, but a close situation. Adams today 0 for 3 with a walk. 7 saves on the year for Pozo, which is a new Vibes record. That only goes back to 2019, of course. I would have to dig a little bit deeper in the Helena archives to see what exactly there was before. I had to go back to maybe Medicine Hat Blue Jay days to see franchise records. It's outside 2-0. There's a strike, 1-1. Should the Vibes hang on and win, we'll have a post-game interview on the field. I will run down out of this booth. And I do mean run down out of this booth. Try to do this in a timely fashion. Two and two. Pozo to the plate. Adams swings and misses at 96. Matt Warkinson, last man standing for Ogden. The Raptors had their shot. They had their shot in the 8th. Bases loaded, 2 outs, down 3. Connors flied out. Swing and a miss by Warkinson. And that hits Warkinson. That one did not feel good either on the shoulder. It's the second time he's been hit in this ballgame. I think Navarro caught the ricochet as well. And he did on the between the side of the face and the shoulder. Here's Freddie Achekar. There's strike 1. Or excuse me, ball 1. That was high. Fly out, strikeout, hit by pitch. The game will be extended by at least one more batter. And this is down low, 2-0. Swing and a miss on the slider. That's the out pitch. And that's the pitch that makes him one of the best relievers in the entire league. On a team, well, that was more successful this year, Miguel Pozo might have somewhere around 15 saves. That's swung on and missed. And now, strike away from the end of this ball game. 2 outs and 2 strikes, a runner at first. Vibes up 4. That's low and outside. We are now just past the 3-hour mark. About 3 hours and 3 minutes in. That's strike 3 called, and this ball game is over. And I'm going to head down to the field for a post-game interview.
Thanks, Jake. Tyler Peterson here with Jacob Wesselman here in the ballpark and on Vibes TV. Jacob, 6 innings, 1 earned run, a season-high tying 8 strikeouts. How did that feel out there today?
Good. I thought I had all my pitches working. Just tried to get ahead of everyone, and the strikeouts just kind of racked up there. It was a good team win. I'm glad we got the W.
I know you guys have been on the road for a long time. You actually haven't spent that much time here in Colorado Springs, but I'm sure starting the homestand off with a win was big.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you get a W, especially the first game of a series, it's huge, and hopefully we can come back tomorrow and get another one.
Your first Vibes win, your second win overall in the season with your time at Grand Junction. Final question we do here on the postgame. For everyone here in the stands, for everyone watching online, what do you have to say?
Let's go Vibes.
Attaboy. That's Jacob Wesselman, our player of the game. Stick around for the postgame interview. Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you.
Closing time from UC Health Park. Welcome back to Vibes Baseball on Vibes TV. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight into this win for the Vibes. Vibes win by the score of 9-5. 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Ogden Raptors. 9 runs on 16 hits and, 2 errors for Rocky Mountain. Jacob Wesselman is the winning pitcher. He is 2-2. Ronnie Orta is the losing pitcher. He is now 6-5. It was a pitcher's duel early on, between both of these clubs. Orta and Wesselman going toe-to-toe. They both allowed 3 runs in the third, but both pitchers only allowed 1 of each of those pairs of 3 to be an earned run. So they were both pitching well. In the third inning for the Vibes, a string of 3 hits to start. RBI single by Gio Diaz, RBI single by Cesar Lopez, a run scored on an error. We would go all the way to the bottom of the 5th, where the Vibes would have their next big inning, 5 runs. And again, it was the hits early in the inning. Double and then a strikeout, but single, single, single after that. Double, 2-run single. That chased Ronnie Orta at that point. He allowed 8 runs, 6 earned in 4 1/3. He didn't walk anyone. Allowed 11 hits and struck out 6. For Wesselman, he's our player of the game. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and a hit by pitch. Ogden tried to make a game of it, and they came back with 3 runs in the 7th. And they had another shot in the 8th as well. They had bases loaded, 2 outs. Seth Davis was able to get out of that jam. In fact, they had second and third with 1 out. And Davis faced 3 batters. 1 he struck out, 1 he walked, 1 he induced a fly out to right to finally end the inning. And then Miguel Pozo came into the 9th, and as he usually does, he has a quick inning with a few strikeouts. He struck out 2. Not a save, but let's call it a close. And a close for tonight's ball game. 3 hours and 3 minutes was the total time of tonight's game in front of 1,907 fans. Before I leave you, we're going to check the scoreboard one last time. Grand Junction and Northern Colorado now tied 5 apiece in the 9th. Missoula and Billings, Mustangs lead 8-5. That's also in the 9th. Bottom of the 9th, Glacier a 6-3 lead on Great Falls. And in the bottom of the 8th, Boise a 5-1 lead over Idaho Falls. Well, we've only got 18 more games after this, and only 11 of those 18 are here on Vibes TV. So I do appreciate every time all of you tune in, whether you're here in Colorado Springs, whether you're in Ogden, whether you are just a family friend or fan somewhere else in the country or international. I want to thank all our international listeners as well, and those watching in Monclova. Muchas gracias. The final score of tonight's game, the Vibes win 9-5. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, have a great rest of your Tuesday evening.